Hello, so we have had a busy morning today. We've gotten quite a few things done. Right now I have my son taking a break, so we'll just do like 20-30 minute breaks and he's free to watch TV or play on his Switch, and so he chose some TV time. But first things first, we did start with our devotional, and we did, let's see here, what day are we on? I really need to put a bookmark in here. Okay, we did Happy Times Are Coming. So we just talked about how if you're having a bad day or just a bad moment in your life, to know that it won't last forever and good times are coming. So we just talked about what that means, examples, and did a little bit of that. And so then after that, we moved into Paddle to the Sea. I am trying to read a chapter or two a day, and so we are about halfway through the book. And so I read this one here, Adrift Again, and the next, which was The Shipwreck. And of course, they're just a chapter is just 1 page long and an illustration, so pretty quick and simple to get through. We did those two, and then tomorrow will be Dry Dock. We'll continue on with that and hopefully finish this before the end of May. Then we moved into first language lessons. So we reviewed a little bit. I went back and asked him what a noun is, what a common noun is, and what a proper noun is, and the differences, and to give me examples. And we are currently in the section about pronouns. So we're learning those, and that began here at lesson 46. Talking about pronouns, what it is, and examples of what you would use if you're referring about yourself, speaking to someone else, speaking about someone else, a group including yourself, or a group not including you. And so we didn't do all of these today, but I had already gone through, I don't know, the first few here, like 46 through 48 I think we had done, and so I moved on and did 49 and 50 today. I can usually do 2 or 3 lessons at a time because they are short and it is really just conversational. And so we did a couple of lessons there, and this is where I stopped. We'll just work on this tomorrow, where we read this fable from Aesop's Fable and answer a few questions, but we'll get to that next time. Oh, and along with our first language lessons, he did ask me to read a book, and at first I was hesitant because I wanted to continue on schedule with the next thing, but it actually was great, and I'm glad I listened, because then we got to talk about pronouns. So this one is called Don't Touch That Flower, and so we just kind of read through it, and I took the opportunity to ask him like where the pronouns were and what noun it took place of, or what it was referring to. And so we just kind of, flipped through this and read it and talked about pronouns, nouns, and writing. After that, we moved into winning with writing. So we just started this today. I actually purchased this at a local bookstore, and it is a used curriculum. Well, it wasn't written in, but I bought it secondhand, so I got it for $15 with the answer key, which you don't necessarily need, especially at this level. So we did the first few pages, and we usually do, the lessons are broken down into a 5-day week, but they're really short, so we went ahead and did all of lesson 1 today. They're really short and simple. Or for example here, like I know that he can write, and I knew he was going to do all of the lessons, all of the activities of lesson 1, so I didn't care for him to write it down here. I just pointed and asked him, okay, what is this? A bear, and spell it for me. And so that was also just practicing him spelling and speaking to me, so I didn't have him write it down because, again, here was more writing, and more, and this is where We stopped because then the next one is lesson 2 on plurals. So we'll just do that tomorrow. And I just kind of go with the flow. I mean, I don't think every single time we'll complete a whole lesson in one sitting. It just depends on what it calls for. So maybe a couple or a few pages at a time. There's a lot more writing in lesson 2, so we may not do that whole lesson at the next homeschool day. But after this, we did do our preschool science by Apologia. So my son is an upcoming first grader, but we are working through this preschool science curriculum. It's just pretty simple. Again, another great conversational curriculum that we just read through and talk about. This was an activity that we did of the sun, how the earth rotates around the sun and how many times, and seasons and years. And so that is our birthdays. So I have done the first lesson. This is we did do the solar system, so lesson 2, and we are currently in lesson 4. I've lost where okay, yes, so we are in lesson 4, God's Garden. So today we had already started this lesson, so we just kind of reviewed what is a plant, what they need to grow, what is a seed. And then we went on, I think we started like around here where we picked up from where we had left off before. Again, just seeds and what each seed would grow into. Of course, a tomato seed would grow a tomato, an apple tree, and so on. A sunflower seed would grow a sunflower. It wouldn't grow anything different. And so we talked about how seeds may look different and be different sizes and shapes. Let's see, went on. We did do these next few pages, how the seeds travel. We can either plant them, animals, or the wind. And then just, again, all about seeds on the outside of a strawberry, how long it would take for a seed to sprout and grow. And then, yeah, that's about the apple tree. And then this is where we stopped. We just talked about the 3 basic parts of a plant. And so my son, I believe he learned this in school. He said that the leaves are like a chef producing the food. The stem is a straw that, sucks up, transports the water and nutrients. And then the roots are the customers. So it brings it all back down to the roots for it to continue growing. And then next time we'll kind of pick up here. And then we did do all this. Again, my son is on a break. And if there's time to continue in our day, oh no, we will begin our traditional spelling one and also continue on in our first grade math with confidence. So we'll see. And it sounds like I've got to get going. But yes, hopefully we can get into this today, if not tomorrow.